Yo! Howdy, gang. So, we opted for the next day's stream, as opposed to the week later or whatever we thought we might go to do. Yeah. The plan was to either edit old stuff or play more. Which do you think sounded funner? So that's what we're doing. Everything looking good. Yeah, more or less. Alright, we've got more stuff to talk about. And we've got more ass to beat. Also, because Google watches my every movement, I read that the classic mode also enabled you to dodge cancel from attacks. Apparently that wasn't something you could do originally. Which, like, what? Come on, it feels so good. Cut the candles. If I remember correctly, there's like a secret boss right over here.
Lost souls have found a purpose. Aren't you thrilled for them?
We're not worthy. Small rock. Misshapen Dorito. Secret boys. What do you think that is? Yeah, I'd probably just open up that wall. I'm like 90% sure that it's this room, but it could be another room that looks just like it. We're not gonna fight him if we see him, because I remember him being pretty tough, and I didn't go back to him till later. But we might fight him before we leave. Because I'm feeling it. Yeah, it's the guy. We don't fuck with him. Probably takes more damage from the ice sword too if I want to come back way later. What do those do? Okay. I think that it's supposed to, like, hit the fucking sword with the chars. The embers. I need to start it, like, way over here. Yeah. See, some of these areas you can jump down into. And there's others that you just, you get teleported out when you fall.
These chambers seem
Impossible to tell
out
which is
of
which.
place.
They are old, neither of heaven nor hell to be sure. Early humans, perhaps.
Perhaps.
I'm a clever thing, mistress, but even I do not know everything, especially when it comes to the minds of men.
A secret? Oh shit. Oh. Oh, I'm not big enough to fit through there. I'm too dummy thick. Sword. Oh. I need to get the other one. What a load. I don't want to go through that hole. And normally rattling chains would be a scary thing to hear in the distance. In this case, we know it's our buddy. Would be cool if they used that for surprise, though. Who's got a bow? Which one of you sons of bitches has a bow? They're above us. Gotta deal with it. I thought that was one of the explosive goops.
Goody, this will be fun as you wish.
We're gonna handicap ourselves just because it looks cool. That's the top layer. I didn't know there were two of them. Jesus. Oh. No. I got stuck on the cage. Is that it? I think that's it. Alright, well, we got a lot of Lurcher clumps out of that. I wonder just how many. Maybe 2,000? Rough guesstimate. I'm actually gonna hold on to those to buy one of the more expensive things now. Now we're not trying to beat a boss. Probably not gonna encounter one for a while.
So, 3 swords total.
So it seems.
It's always 3, isn't it?
Pardon?
3 keys, 3 stones, 3 swords. Rather predictable, don't you think?
Have you lost your mind?
No. I just hate it when the creator takes shortcuts.
Called the rule of threes, alright? Any more and it would be tedious. Any less and it would feel too easy. However, by always adhering to 3, it's predictable. It works best with puzzles because, you know, the first one's like the easy, give me example, and then the second one's like, okay, try it yourself, and the third one's, okay, this is hard. Whoa. It's not often games put enemies right next to the freaking spawn point. Was that a one-hit? Was I annihilated? Ow. That guy fucking hits hard, man. I don't like him. Admittedly, I ate that one. I ordered it and I even fucking tipped. What do I want to pick to talk about? There's so many choices still. Let's go with Sunset Overdrive. So, let's see, this game was originally an Xbox One exclusive. Came to PC at some point, and every time I just, like, kept putting it off, alright? I was like, this is an exclusive, it has to be good, right? But I've never heard anyone talk about it. Also, like, this looks okay. All these reviews, the fucking IGN people being bad at games, they just, like, make it look kind of eh. When I played it, it was freaking bonkers. So yeah, I eventually got it for, like, hella cheap. Made by Insomniac, of course. So, it plays something like Ratchet & Clank. It's a zombie shooter of sorts. They're not actually zombies, they're mutants. Made by a new type of soda. Overcharge, it's called. Made by Fizco. It is very much like the story of Rampage with Scum Soda making the monsters, or the kaiju. And this time it turns people into basically zombies. Special types, you know the deal. Let's see, this is an open world thing. Extremely punk rock themed. Everyone's like edgy alt. The freaking original soundtrack is pretty good. Again, more punk rock. There's a song that's just like, diarrhea! Diarrhea! As you're turning the fucking orange font of zombies into paste. So you have goofy weapons, like a frickin'... The first one you pick up is a shotgun that's shaped like a cock, and it shoots hot lava or whatever. Second one you pick up is like a record launcher, it ricochets. And I don't think the game gives you any other free guns. The rest of them you have to buy with stuff you get from killing. So there's like a harpoon that tracks zombies, there's like a bowling ball launcher called Dude, of course a reference to Dick Lebowski. Your character makes lots of references to 80s movies. He's also a bit of an asshole, but, you know, in a funny kind of way. And, so you get to customize your character, so you can either have alt-boy or alt-girl. Alt-boy is voiced by Yuri Lowenthal, though, so you're going to pick him. No offense to the female voice actor, but she doesn't have shit on Yuri Lowenthal. So, you're probably going to play through the story as him, and then maybe switch to the girl later. However, your character is very self-aware, so they are canonically transgender at that point. You better be okay with that. See, there are 4 body types you can pick, like thick girl and petite girl, and then skinny guy and like meathead guy. The meathead guy is kind of funny because it's just like a lowered voice Yuri Lowenthal. And you can buy lots of new costume parts throughout the game. The various factions that you end up helping out around the city. So there's plenty of customization in that. Though I'm personally not into the whole aesthetic. I don't dress like that. I'm not a skater boy or whatever. Jesus Christ. It's 100% because I'm talking that I'm doing horribly, but, you know, we'll just have to deal with it. Female characters, though, hot. So, yeah. So So again, your character's kind of an asshole. I guess you worked as like a janitor at a concert venue, and that's when they released the new soda, and you run away from the zombies, and then, yeah, that's how the game starts, and that's all that happens. You kill zombies, try to get out of the city. You can't. And then you just go and figure out how to survive or whatever. Zombie stuff. Again, lots of references. Your character's pretty funny, but again, he is an asshole, so that might annoy you. I don't know. The gameplay. You shoot guys, your weapons level up on use. You have very limited ammo, kind of like Doom Eternal, so you're always swapping out the weapons. Occasionally you do like tower defense type things to defend a base, which will net you mods. I don't remember what they're called. Probably just mods. The game's again very self-aware. You can slot those in your weapons for additional effects, like maybe you'll cause a small nuclear explosion on hit, or you'll set guys on fire, electricity, stuff like that. You can also put them on your basic movement abilities like dodge rolling, or your melee attack, or bouncing and grinding on things, because, yeah, it plays kind of like a Sonic game. And actually, when you combo together these bounces and grinds, your move speed and damage will increase. So it becomes very fast-paced, and you're encouraged to, like, be constantly changing the way you're moving, running on walls and stuff. Sheesh. Lots of shit to collect around the city, which you use to unlock new guns and mods. Like toilet paper hanging from things, like Mike's shoes hanging on things. Places for you to graffiti up. Son of a bitch, they just hit so hard. Aside from that, there's also side missions, which are all pretty fun for the most part. You help out the various sub-characters that you meet in a sort of Saints Row-esque fashion. And sometimes they're just like mini-game challenges, like you have to grind and bounce on all the things and then a time limit to collect these point markers that are left behind, or you'll have to run through the hoops really quick, or you'll kill a certain amount of zombies with a specific gun and try and get a high score. Horde mode thing where you get to use all the guns you want and try to set a really high score, and there's usually a unique gimmick associated with it. Lots of stuff like that. Yeah, that was all really fun. There are 3 different factions: the physical robots, the zombies, and the bandits. You deal with all of them different amounts during the different acts, and then eventually, like, all at once. Decent amount of variety with them, though by the end of it I was like kind of tired of it, but that's because this game came with the 2 DLCs that came out, which are like full-blown expansions to actually have a decent amount of length to them. One of them has you go to an oil rig where you help out the handicap scoutmaster, who's now in a mech suit, try and find his sister, who turns out to be a huge bitch. And you fight, like mutant sea monster variants of the three factions. And of course, you fight like an actual final boss, the DLC monster. Ahaha. It was pretty good. The other one, you go to a factory, where you fighting like exclusively the robots, which are the hardest enemies. There's some new variants of them. And there, the final boss is actually kind of cool in that it was one of the representatives from Insomniac on like TV screens as a robot guy. It was a neat fight. I don't want to spoil too much of that. It was funny though, because he was like really butthurt about how people were treating him. Because throughout the game there were these TVs that you can watch that have like tutorials, tips, how to play the game on them. And the guy who you fight is the host of the show there, and everyone's like, oh, he's so cringy, he doesn't tell us anything useful, he's not funny. And he just, like, embraced that. The badmouth you during the fight. I don't like this guy. The game itself was a decent length on its own, too. I think it took me like 30 hours to get to the end of the main game. That's because I did all the other stuff along the way. Movement's very fun, combat's fun. Though again, it got a bit tired by the end of all the DLCs. And I was trying to 100% it, because again, I did everything, but you just don't get resources at a fast enough pace to buy all the weapons and upgrade them and stuff. It's a shame. And see, I might have gone through it with like a New Game Plus were it available, but it's not. Instead, you have to pick the missions individually, and then you're free to replay them whenever. But that's like a little lamer. I wish that they gave me like a hard mode or something to go back for, you know? There is, however, a leaderboard, so like on your redo of the missions, you can go and set a high score or whatever if you're into that. A couple other weird things. The game was, again, Xbox One exclusive, so sometimes the character will make comments about it being on an Xbox. And one of the missions you go to has you, like, defragment your Xbox, which doesn't make sense when you're playing on a computer. Overall, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was worth the money. I think that at full price it's only like 20 bucks, but I got it on sale anyways. Definitely worth more than that, so like it's a steal on sale or not. Yeah, I just had a good time. And I guess I have a slightly greater appreciation for punk. Question mark. You still won't catch me listening to Blink-182, but I don't know, some of the songs are good, alright? Some of them sound like some early Cage the Elephant stuff. Eesh. So, I don't know, we'll give it like a 8 out of 10 maybe. I feel like if they just tweaked some number values, made the progression like dole out resources a bit faster, keep things fresh while you play it longer, it could have been a 9 easily, but we'll give it an 8. Moreover, I don't understand why nobody talked about it. Did nobody play it? It was like, it was pretty great. Especially like for something on the Xbox where you only have Gears of War and Halo to talk about. Like, this should have really stood out. Distance.
This will be fun for both of us. As you wish.
I think I want help.
Do make sure they scream.
Okay. That was one of the key items I was missing in my other file. So I was just curious. Do I want to fight the big boy? I don't really need to. Skeleton archer there I gotta worry about. Oh, he's guarding something. That piques my interest. sneaky archer over here, I think. No, it's just a pile of shit. Yeah, we have Havoc form, so we can use that on him. Goddamn. Okay. So next we can talk about EDF 5, Earth Defense Force 5. They're just going by EDF now because Earth Defense Force is really long and hard to say. I think I've talked about 4.1 before. Now, I have the first game on Xbox 360. It's actually really rare, and it's worth a lot of money, and it's pretty great, but, you know, you might as well just play the newest game because they're all the same, but they add on each other, right? Except sometimes they release bad games. Like, after the first game, they released Insect Armageddon, which was like 5 missions long, and it looked cool, and it had good ideas, but again, it was 5 missions long, and you had to listen to the same narration over and over, and it got really tedious. And before this one, they released Iron Rain, which was like the same deal, I guess. I think they're on another weird spin-off one called, like, PDF World Defenders or something. It's like voxel-based, and it's actually fun, I read. It's actually good. Though it's really strange choice. So basically these games are like campy B-movie things where you shoot giant insects. So basically Starship Troopers. You're of course defending the Earth from aliens. Normally it's a race of aliens called the Ravagers. Either they're re-invading or they're invading for the first time again. And they always start by dropping down giant ants. And they'll bring out like spiders, maybe some bees, and they start bringing the drones and the giant robots and stuff. Sometimes a kaiju. This time it's a little different though. They did still go with ants first or whatever, but they refused to call them ants. They call them Species Alpha and monsters and stuff like that. Which is, like, kind of funny in how serious they're trying to take it. Like, these people see these things and they don't think giant fucking ant. So it's kind of its own joke in this game. So, like, it's kind of annoying at a certain point when, like, we're about to freaking lose everyone on Earth and we're still calling them not giant ants. And again, you're listening to cheesy dialogue the whole time. You'll be like, my god, it's a monster. Please help me. News reports, stuff like that. You get to hear about what's going on in the other countries when you're doing missions, how everyone's freaking losing, and how your character specifically is a badass. So unlike the Insect Armageddon, as example, there's actually like over 100 missions to play, so it doesn't get tired like that. Let's see, there are 4 classes you can pick from. The basic soldier, who can use like all kinds of weapons, and he's fast, he's able to sprint, and he can also heal the units around him. When you pick up the NPC squads, they'll follow you around. Pick up healing items, they'll all heal too, so he's good for keeping them alive. There's the Air Raider, who deploys vehicles and airstrikes and stuff. He's very difficult to play in single player, but the game is definitely made for the 4-player multiplayer co-op bullshit. Aside from vehicles, you also get like mech soldiers, powered exoskeletons, Voltron. There's the Fencer, who is a guy in power armor. He uses like heavy artillery mounted to his arms. So if you like dealing with heavy recoil, he's your guy. But he also has like thrusters and shields and giant hammers and stuff. So if you want to like play in melee combat, he's also your guy. You want to be parry god. They have the highest damage output potential, but they're also pretty difficult to play, so you have to master like advanced techniques to really move around fast with them and stuff. And then there's the Wing Diver, who is a girl, basically in an armored bikini. She has a jetpack and she uses laser weapons. They're very squishy, but they have the highest like base damage output. The issue, though, is they have like a energy meter to power up their weapons. It's also used for their jetpacks, so you have to like be very careful with how you're using your resources. They can also move a lot faster than everyone because they fly, of course. So I start out trying to play the Fencer because I'm familiar with the games, and I don't know, it just took a while for me to get the right weapons found for that to come online, so I ended up switching to the Wing Diver for a while, and then I eventually just went back to my comfort zone of the basic soldier. Because they have stuff that's good for every situation. Gameplay consists of you shooting the fuck out of the insects and robots and stuff. They will drop health items to pick up, armor pickups, which permanently increase your health by 1 every time you pick one up, and new weapons. Picking up weapons has a chance for you to find something new, which is like restricted by how far into the game you are. So it gives you a sense that like they're developing new weapons as the game goes on. You get more advanced stuff that shoots lasers and whatnot. Explosive bullets. Lots of crazy guns, triple barrel bullshit. Fucking shotguns that shoot like a fucking skyscraper in front of you. Picking up the same gun, however, isn't always a waste. When it like contributes to an experience bar, and then that gun will get like upgrades to its various statistics. So some guns that are like kind of trash when you first get them can become good when you get their upgrade on reload time, and it's now only 1 second. Suddenly outclasses something that does like a lot more raw damage because it fires a lot more and it has a quick reload. Two big boys. So obviously, being the latest game in the franchise that has the most enemy variety, a lot of them are returning from previous games. However, because this isn't the Ravagers this time, it's the Primers, they have unique aesthetics to them, as well as just new enemies entirely, a lot of them of which are actually completely original to this game. For once, instead of robots, you're actually fighting aliens. Both a slave race of frogs whose limbs you shoot off and they regenerate, and then like the actual guys who are like buff greys in golden armor. They all have a couple different forms with different weapons and stuff. Bees, different kinds of spiders, ants, the usual. Teleportation ships and towers. The towers are new. The ships and air drones have been reshaped, so they look different. They're also all like covered in gold now instead of the usual chrome. There's like big daddy long leg spider bot things, which are kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. Their legs are covered in cannons that you have to shoot off, so you use like swarmy missiles or whatever. Or if you got a really long-range sniper, you can try and attack the body directly and take him out early, but that's difficult to do. And with that, there is strategy to fighting some of these things. Like the teleportation ships all have a weak point. Same with the anchors, the spider bots, as I just mentioned. Right, there's also like a couple different types of kaiju that you fight this time. Before it was only like the one Godzilla looking thing, now there's like an Anguirus as well. And you get to box them in a big robot, of course, Pacific Rim style. Pretty great. Also, previously the games all took place in like the not-so-distant future, like at least 20 years ahead of where we currently are. This one takes place in 2019. So it's like a current year invasion, which is weirder to see. I think the first game was in 2027, and it came out in like 2007. So obviously you want to play it in multiplayer, right? As you might expect, yeah, the game's niche as fuck, alright? It doesn't have a lot of US players. But I still always found myself ending up with a full party eventually when I played online. Didn't take too long. So I'd recommend buying it with friends, but if you just want to play it at randos, that's cool too. In fact, the game has a chat wheel you can use on your D-pad. So that'll, you know, translate to the Japanese language where most of the players are from. So communication is never an issue. You can also ping. And using that chat wheel, you could also interact with the NPCs, which is neat. You can even make them sing. Where am I supposed to be going? I feel like this is the exit, but it's not open. Or did I... Oh, okay. There's a pressure plate. Yeah, the game's very long. And over 100 missions. Each mission takes anywhere from like 10 minutes to 40 minutes. And you'll also probably end up redoing some of them because they can be kind of hard, especially if you don't have a full party. You want at least 2 people to survive, really.
Break a sweat against
Because you can pick each other back up at least. Depending on what difficulty you're on, you will either keep or lose a certain amount of the stuff you've picked up between missions, so it's not always a waste. Friendly fire also goes up based on difficulty. And the loot that you collect will also get better based on difficulty, so you're meant to, like, replay the game in each corresponding level. You're free to use normal on your first try, though I think it kind of wants you to play on easy. And I'm currently trying to go through the hardest one, Inferno, which only unlocks after you've beaten the game. But I definitely recommend getting at least a few weapons from hardest before you attempt Inferno. It really is that much more difficult. I mean, your health increases by 1 every time you get an armor pickup. You're gonna obviously should have a lot of health if you've beaten the game like 3 times before attempting that, right? I don't. So yeah, if you're not afraid of insects, you like Starship Troopers, you like campy B-movie dialogue, and you like crazy weapons almost in a Ratchet and Clank-esque way, give it a go. It's always a good time. Is that it? I came all this way up here for a small crystal. Eh. Did I take the right way out? This also looks like an ambush. Keep your tits about you, mate. Oh no, that's a buff version of the hard-hitting boy. Oh, come on. Actraiser. Missed this. What? He gave me a haircut. Alright, I don't need to fight them. And I wouldn't have if I didn't know that my stuff would come back. Oh, stop dodging into him. So do I do this puzzle or do I go back to where I died? Guess I want to do the puzzle. Got it. Okay, so I burnt that, but why? Dummy, you little shit. All that burning that did was hit that, so it dropped out to goop. And I'm supposed to use that to do something up here. But what? Is it trying to turn? Do I have to? Okay, I think I get it, maybe. So, if we detonate it from, like, here, or maybe even up there, right here's probably fine. The sparks are going to ignite the boy. And he's going to start that. And then ideally the sparks from this are going to activate the switch. Wow. Our hard-hitting boy. Sheesh. Really nothing else in here. I feel like there's a secret. I guess there was that corpse. Jesus Christ. Him assert dominance. We still have to go back to that room where we died.
This will be fun for both of them. As you wish. Farewell.
Let's give him a shrink.
For now.
Oh. So, Chapter 2 of Deltrarune came out a while ago. I'm not sure how I want to talk about that. It's like, you know, I'm sure everyone watched it on, like, Twitch or whatever. Or they played it themselves because, you know, it's the sequel to Undertale. It's Undertale Scrambled. Like, the game was a huge hit. Writing's obviously funny, music's still great, everything you expected. And of course the gameplay's improved. You played the first part, you know what Deltrarune is already. Really, you need to experience it fresh. I'm not allowed to talk about any of the story. I can just say that it was hilarious. Minor spoiler, they did implement a genocide route this time. You might remember the first time around, it didn't really matter whether you killed or spared anyone. The game saw, like, more of its systems come together. Like, there's a town that you manage now, and, like, the people that you spared end up there, so there's a reason to not murder everyone. But there is, like, a legit, like, story genocide route in addition to just not having people in your town now, too. See, more story stuff happened. I guess they have a clearer picture of where things are going to go now, or at least we do, or maybe Toby knew the whole time, who knows. But he says around December, I think, he plans on releasing the next 3 chapters, and there'll be like 2 more still in development by then. So that's good. See, he released this one for free as well, as just like a gift. I am unsure whether or not he's just trolling us and he's actually going to charge for the full game, or if it's going to be completely free. Because I wouldn't put it past him to release it for free. I mean, he's freaking rich now, right? And he's a meme lord. In fact, like right at the beginning, before you go into the game world, you leave the school and you see that there's like a big traffic jam because apparently a dog in a car came out of nowhere and started doing donuts in the middle of the road. And that ruined everyone's lives. That was basically him stealth dropping the demo on us because he didn't tell anyone about it until it happened. Every time you see a dog, it's him. And he appears a few more times. It was a lengthy-ass demo, too. I think it took me, like, at least 5 hours to get through this one chapter. But, like, there's the whole previous chapter, too, so, like, probably a 10-hour thing altogether if you're first playing it fresh. Again, there's just not a lot that I can say about it. It's just Undertale, but better. maybe more LGBTQ friendly. That's probably gonna bug some people, but I feel it's like tastefully done. Like nobody's flexing their sexuality in your face, but there are also a lot of people that are very clearly like gay. But then again, most of the characters aside from you are monsters, so like, who knows how their freaking reproductives work? I don't know. But yeah, it was good. Lots of dank memes. Very funny, much haha. Story's going good places. I feel I'm interested with what's happening next. Gameplay keeps developing in positive ways. I feel like equipment plays a lot more of a role than in the first game, and that it provides passive bonuses now to like dodging and accumulating mana and stuff, as opposed to you just not needing it at all if you aren't planning on killing anyone. And big shot. Apparently that's the name of the next Diary of a Wimpy Kid book, and people are memeing on it because of the freaking Deltrarune memes too. And I love that that's a thing. Catchy ass song. Hey, I actually killed him while talking. Can't believe it. Chaos enhancement. Well, God forbid you tell me what it does. I can put it in my weapon, apparently. Wow. Damage from this weapon returned as health. Oh shit, it gives it to you that early. It's almost like it knows that this is the lifesteal weapon. Doubles the duration of Havoc form. Yeah, lifesteal. Yeah. That was worth coming back. Not to mention I have 2,500 to spend now. Oh. Just put me right back in the puzzle room. Could I fight my way out? Why not? I probably have enough clusters to buy something big. I'm gonna make it back. Oh, I dodged it. Oh, I dodged it. And we light up the sky. I have to run all the way back around because that's a one-way path. It's not too long a walk, though. They made it short because there was a puzzle to deal with. Whereas the other one was just combat, and that's why it's longer. Damn it. Alright, 3,000. I don't have to use that many thingies. Luminous Visage is a skill point, so I'm gonna hold on to that for a while. I can buy 2 big things.
What would you add? This, as you wish. Take your time.
So what do we want? The Leviathan gives me some health regen, but I remember that being very underwhelming because it's per minute, not per second. It was alright at its max level, but by then I had so much health that it like wasn't worth it. If it was percentage based, that'd be a different thing, but whatever. Getting more money could be useful in the long run. Chance weapon spawns Wrath when killing an enemy. Wrath reward for Wrath Nurtures. It's not terrible, but I feel like I already get it back at a decent rate. Can I just buy the armor? The Rejuvenation Core is good, but I don't have enough health for that to really make too much of a difference, you know? I'll get the armor. Because I don't have to replace anything to use it. And it's just gonna make me all around better.
As you wish. This, as you wish. Farewell for now.
Da, da, da. Or orange. We look dumb when we're not in a flame hall, though. Now we're like a barbarian now. Dope. Dope. How do I get in that room? Did I miss a secret? Ah, ah, ah. Oh. Okay, so I went back to playing Frostpunk for a while. I wanted to play City Builder, and I still had Frostpunk installed, so we went back to that. Previously, I did the campaign and most of the scenarios. I got stuck on the Fall of Winter home, which came in free as a patch later down the line, I think, and it was very difficult because basically you start with a town that just revolted against its previous leader because it was a piece of shit town and it was like very poorly planned. Nobody has good housing. It's like all the places that are usable are like really shittily laid out. The streets are a freaking mess, and of course everyone's injured from the fighting when you start too. And then you have to get rid of all the damaged houses. And it starts out pretty freaking cold, so people are getting sick and frostbitten quickly while you're trying to get rid of the houses. And you have to get rid of them within a time limit so people don't get too discontent or lose hope or whatever. And yeah, it's a big pain. You basically need child labor if you want to get through that one, but child labor is just good in general. In Frostpunk, I mean. So I went back to that, and that's like what we started with doing, just trying to get past that mission, and it was really freaking difficult. After that, I gave the main campaign another try on the harder setting, and I made it to the end, but we might have survived had I had my people a bit happier, but they voted me out, and I got exiled in the middle of the fucking blizzard at the end. So that was some shit. There are a couple DLCs that came out for it, and they're also working on a second game now. So I only got the one DLC called The Rifts from a Humble Bundle, which was a special map for the Endless mode. The unique feature of the map is that it's built on like rifts, I don't know, just little pillars of earth spread out in like a canyon type situation. You start in the middle one. You have to build bridges, which are very expensive to get access to the other resources. And basically, if you build the wrong bridge first, or you don't build it fast enough, you won't have the steel to survive. So it's very much a pain in the ass trying to get past that initial first stage, but once you have a sustainable source of food and steel, you'll be good for the rest of the whole scenario. It's endless mode, so it doesn't end, but like there is a goal, and that you just have to survive until the game can't get any harder because you don't have upgrades to keep people alive any better. So like the blizzards reach a certain severity and then they don't get any worse for the rest of time, and they're like special collectibles to get for lore and achievements. And then you can just build. Eventually you'll have an overabundance of resources and you just build for fun. Try and set up unique layouts, experiment a bit, get achievements, that kind of thing. So that one took me a decent number of tries, but I ultimately got through it, and then I got most of the game's achievements just by messing around in that mode. Overall, I think it was a pretty unfair map, but there were all the other maps I could have tried to play on too, so whatever, my bad. I don't know if I ever did a review of the normal game, so I guess we can talk about it some. So, as the name would imply, it is Frost and Punk. Oh, shit.
Mistress. Easy. Do you hear it?
This is not what we seek. Let us carry on.
Wait. The Maker.
Owe him nothing.
I know. I want him to owe me. Easy, child. Easy.
An
I
ugly
can
looking
lead you
child.
to others like you. Humans. Won't that be nice?
Oh shit, grenades. Right, it's Frost and Steampunk. I said just punk before, yeah, Steampunk. So, you play people from Victorian London in Steampunk. The world is recently completely frozen over, so people moved up north where they had secretly set up big generators to produce the massive amounts of heat from burning coal. And, you know, it got colder, so the north is more a stable place to live, I guess. I don't know. So you go to establish New London, or whatever scenario you're playing. New London would be the basic campaign. So as you might imagine, you have to deal with cold temperatures, keeping people healthy from working in the cold, frostbite, amputations, and developing new technology. And it gets colder as the game progresses, eventually culminating in a final big blizzard where you had to have stockpiled enough resources to survive, as well as having the homes and medical facilities all be livable in that cold temperature. Which they won't be. It gets way too cold, so you need to throw that generator into overdrive to survive the end. Which, if you leave it in overdrive for too long, it'll explode and kill everyone, so that's not good. It also consumes like twice the amount of resources, so you just need to have a lot of shit. So it's a city builder, no combat whatsoever. You just, some choose your own adventure stuff on a map you can do to collect resources, make tough decisions. There's a technology tree which takes time, and then like over time there's also like a laws tree where you pass social policies, such as child labor, like I mentioned before, or prostitution, stuff like that. And these all have their own consequences, but I think it's pretty obvious which ones are good and which are bad. And there's also, like, an extreme measure that you're not supposed to take, because at the end it'll, like, go through the end and be like, at what cost? And it's always gonna say that, but if you didn't do anything too bad, you could say, yeah, at what cost? Game. So in addition to the standard tree, there's, like, law and faith you can pick through. Law is for, like, propaganda, imprisonment, and stuff like that, and it's basically just not good. Because you have a very limited supply of people to work. So, child labor is important, because the game goes day by day, not by months or years, so nobody's ever being born in your playthrough. The alternative is to build a shelter for them, and they can eventually become medical or engineering apprentices and help boost speed, but it's just not as good. And it requires you to use warm space on a building that doesn't count as a home.
These are definitely not children.
But, the thing that's bad about law, of course, is, one, public executions, which kills people, again, limited people. and imprisonment, which means that people can't work anymore, which is also bad. The faith tree, you deal with that just by, like, penance, shaming people, whipping them in public. Also, most of the faith facilities don't require people to actually run them, so you get the bonuses for free. Pretty good. And they have soup kitchens, which provide warmth to workplaces, which is also just good, because warmth is expensive sometimes. Heaters cost a lot of coal to run. I guess what's unique about the city building is, of course, the heat system. You have to build in a circle around the generator, which makes, like, placing buildings and knowing how much space you're gonna have left a bit of a pain in the ass, honestly. But you get used to it. And then increasing the range of the generator makes it consume, like, twice the amount of resources. Which twice of 2 times becomes 4 times, you know. So at a certain point it becomes more beneficial to use steam hubs, which are mini generators. And you can use those to, like, build for places far out from the generator, such as some premium resources, which usually, like, built into a wall. You're very much at the whims of time, so using the pause function is pretty important, but in the survival mode you don't get the pause anymore, which is kind of a bitch to play with, honestly. Yeah, basically you need to set up an authoritarian government to survive in the harder difficulties. There's no you getting through it ethically. And there's definitely an optimal strategy to these scenarios. Sometimes you have to change it up a bit for the maps, but for the most part, you're going to be doing stuff the same once you figure out what works every time, and that kind of, like, kills a bit of the variety compared to something like Anno or Civilization, where what you do depends on what's around you on the randomly generated map. It's also annoying how there's, like, scripted events for some of the choices that you make, like when you choose to invest in amputations because you'll eventually be able to make prosthetics. One guy will scriptedly commit suicide because he can't work anymore with his amputated limb, even if you do happen to be fast enough to invent prosthetics before that happens. I feel like there's something down here, but, like, I don't want to look. I guess not. Let's go. So, I don't know, there's strategy to it. Once you figure it out, that's the only strategy, I guess is what I'm saying. I haven't mastered the game, but whatever, I feel that, like, I beat it anyways. Can feel kind of unfair at times, downright depressing at points. But it's good for what it is. It just feels like it lacks some depth. There's a lot more that can be done with it. And, you know, they're of course making a sequel, so we'll see how that goes. If you haven't played, like, the newest Anno, I would recommend you maybe go for that instead, I don't know. I also saw this game called Gourd, which appears to be, like, Frostpunk in a... Like, it's very much inspired by it from the way the UI looks and how the building works. But in, like, a Witcher dark fantasy kind of thing. It looks like you have heroes that you command and adventure around with, too, which... Yeah, I'm into it. I'm excited for that. It's a different developer, even though it has, like, the same font and stuff, too. I wonder how that's gonna, like, go over lawsuit-wise, if they press charges. When I say Witcher-esque, I mean, yes, it is Polish. You couldn't tell by the name Gourd. Pumpkins are known to repel evil spirits. Yes, that's why we use them for Halloween. I actually started playing another Polish game called Thea the Awakening. There's a sequel called The Shattering, but I don't know, people have mixed opinions on it. They have, like, a Steam Workshop, right? So people imported the original game's campaign into the sequel. However, some people prefer the mechanics of the first game, so I went with the first game. And it's basically like Civilization, like you manage a town on one tile, and the rest of it you do exploring with an adventuring party and leveling them up, getting loot, selling stuff, figuring out the weird crafting system, and I don't know, the game's just Polish as fuck, alright? A lot of weird language. The weapons are all named weird things. It's cool, though. I really don't have much else to say about it because I haven't played it very much. Just thought it was on topic. I guess if you are into the phase of Civilization where you're just exploring the world and not trying to, like, win wars or economics or whatever, then it's for you. Because that early part of Civilization is, in fact, my favorite stage of the game. And the combat isn't like Age of Wonders tactical whatever bullshit, because Age of Wonders is a lot like Civ as well. It's more like a D&D sort of turn-based card game thing. The characters all have stats based on stats, you know, they level up. And all the combat scenarios play out the same, but they're not always like combat. Sometimes your attack will be determined by like your hunting skill, because you're trying to hunt, you're not actually fighting. So nobody's at risk of being injured or whatever. Which feels elegant. A good reuse of systems. Am I supposed to climb the... Fuck! Am I supposed to climb the dinosaur to get up? I think so. I don't see any other way. I didn't think these stairs looked too usable, though. Do I get on his hand? I hate how close those are. No, this is not the way. Fuck. Can I swing on these? It looks like I should be able to, but... There we go. Just have to get unreasonably close to them. You ever wonder if they just built the skeleton wrong? Like, sure, that works. But what if the legs are longer? What if his legs branches off into a 4-foot system at the knee? What if it's actually a demon? Because it's not alive. They don't know what it's supposed to look like. That just kind of makes sense. Wire there. Eh. Do you think the developers got in trouble for letting you murder these children-looking things? Probably not. I don't think the game got enough attention to warrant a lawsuit. But it happens. But you're probably not going to be able to kill kids in the next Elder Scrolls still. Even if Wraith is a total bitch. Am I blind? I swear there was an item up here when I was looking from the dinosaur. Higher up, maybe? Can he trip the wire? He can. I got some more for you to play with, boyo. Ooh. I just use this. Give myself some heals. I ain't fucking around. Has it? Just a fragment of adamantine? Okay, well. We killed another of the black things, so that means that it wasn't supposed to drop anything special, and I can put my mind at ease finally. I think I can use this to get over there. Or not. I don't think I'm gonna make the jump on its own. Maybe if I had the glide ability. But I don't. I'm probably just gonna not waste my time trying to get over there. How about that? Maybe this. It does look so tantalizing. No, it's not a ledge. Okay, now we're actually just gonna move on. Pile of gold we saw in the next area. I'm pretty sure that's the greed boss room. But we haven't seen Vulgrim in a while, so I'm not gonna go right for that yet. I'm gonna have a spawn point up here.
What manner of hoarder do we have here?
Mistress, your talisman. Be wary.
Yeah, it's the boss room. There's Vulgrim.
What would you ask? This will be fun as you wish.
Should I go right for him then, since it's right next to him, or should I go this way? Probably go this way, because I don't have any heals. It'd be dumb to walk into a boss room without any heals. Ah, this is the room where they're dropping the bombs from. Ooh! Stop. Oh. Well, that works out. I'm gonna have to consult my list for next topic. However, I'm probably not gonna go into it just yet because I want to focus on the boss that we're about to fight. Okay. I was gonna say, I think I have to, like, freeze the water like Breath of the Wild. Like, lift it up or something. Oh, we went backwards. I kinda knew that. Yeah. Have to take the long way back around. There has to be a secret underneath one of those holes, though, right? You have to drop down one of them and it doesn't take you to this room. That's just like hole room 101. Bitch! Why did I stop moving? Ow.
No.
Damn it. Our checkpoint got reset to down there, too. We still have to go the long way. Serpent holes, guys. Yeah, I'll walk back to get my shit, but serpent holes. I could just fast travel back. I don't think they were available while we were in the Nether, but we're out, so it doesn't matter anymore. It also means I can power up my weapons before I fight the guy, which I should do. You're a son of a bitch, you know that? I don't have any ranged weapons yet.
Gimme.
One piece of health, you son of a bitch. Ah. So how do you think we came up with double jumping? Like, it doesn't make sense. Animation-wise, I guess, like, you'd throw your weight around in a circle and cancel your momentum with a flip, so, like, that's fine, but, like, some characters just do, like, a Belmont jump to go up a little higher. Like, they, like, do, like, a fart, lift up the shoulders some. Like, yeah, it's a game, I get it. It doesn't have to make sense, but, like, who thought that it made any amount of sense? Like, who was the freaking lunatic who thought double jumping was even a possibility? And why do we all just so readily accept it? Whenever I play a game, I expect to be able to double jump. Is this where Volgrim was? Yes. I hate the cummy eggs. Oh, some shit. I did it again. Eh. Oh, we're back here. In a room with the ambush that we stayed on for a while. Oh! I have enough of those to upgrade one of my trinkets now. But which one? Oh. Ah. No, what do you mean there's more? He actually summons them? This son of a bitch. Okay, well, we're just gonna fast travel back there since we're right next to the other Volrum.
Greetings. Please take your time.
Want to burn these webs for no reason. Pretty sure they're just like shortcut. Oh no, they actually lead somewhere. Those are eggs. They're not just little monk statues. I don't know if that's the right way or if it's just a hidden area that's a little big. Plan was to go back to the Maker's Forge, upgrade some shit, and then go fight Greed. Now we have this option. Okay. Eh. Can I just... Nah, that's not enough. Puzzles, not combat. That's a secret boy. Secret head boy! Okay, well, we're not gonna fight him. I'm just gonna go back and get my shit, and we're gonna run. And fight Greed. And maybe you can talk about stuff. Those low polygon ass flowers. And normally they just use like a flat image and, you know, a drawing of a flower on a flat plane, so it's amazing that they're 3D at all, but even then, like, this could have just been like square for each of the petals and then a drawing of the petal. So it's really strange that they're so jagged still. They could have been detailed and low poly at the same time. It's not. Maybe it secretly doesn't have any textures, and that's why. Though I don't think that's the case. Just look at the leaves. I remember there was a web down here by the human we saved. That didn't work the first time. Oh no. Oh, can I just like rain bukkake on him? Okay, now back to the Maker's Forge. Jesus Christ. Room.
What would you add? This will be fun for both of us. As you wish. Please take your time.
Damage.
What do you need? Horse payment to lay down a mighty hurt, are we? Some of my best victims possible, but
There. Now I actually get 1 health back per hit. It's doing 1% of 50, that's half a point every hit with these things.
What's your
Trash. Now they're actually better to use.
What would you ask of this? Take your time. As you wish.
This is the wrong guy. Cool thing handles
Do
the
make
enchantment
sure they
upgrades too.
scream, horseman.
How can my hammer be all right? Let's see what I can do for you.
What can I do for you? Should we go with the health upgrade or the damage upgrade? And it turns into both at the end. Do I even want to upgrade this one? Because these are a limited resource. You know this one's good. I feel safe upgrading this path.
Didn't think it was possible, but now you're even deadlier. Interesting. Bests and blessings.
The Fortifier doesn't seem bad, but like I feel like we can do better. Maybe. I don't want to be on hold.
What would you ask of this humble? Please.
Franken
take
hole.
your time.
Greed boy.
There wasn't much that the humans got right, but they did know art.
What?
Frankly, I think it's one of the reasons that the angels were so jealous of them. Have you ever seen one of those birds paint?
You're talking about art. Now. Here.
It's a museum. Well, certainly, we have our mission. I'm just saying.
For bathtub.
Some people have no appreciation for the finer things in life.
Avarice.
Fury. Welcome to my Hall of Treasure. Unfortunately, you forgot to pay the entrance fee. Your life.
Take it if you dare, wretch!
Bring out Wario.
Must come to an inevitable bloody end.
Eh. Ah.
It's time.
Honestly, this guy seems easier than Wrath. I think we might have to fight Wrath again, I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure we didn't kill him. I have my Havoc form ready for whenever I want to use it. Probably need a couple more practice runs, but again, he doesn't seem bad. Ironically, the fight's without fighting your own greed and just, like, timing it, because his attacks aren't at all difficult to dodge. And I guess in the default mode where you can't dodge cancel attacks, it's even more so about that. Come on. Maybe Wrath was the same way too, in that I got punished for, like, attacking him after I saw an opportunity. I had to control my rage. I wonder if all the fights do something like that. I doubt it. Probably just reading too much into it, but it's cool nonetheless.
Finally, show.
Really fighting with a bathtub? Oh.
Your glorious head is my greatest prize!
He's got a skull. Confidence. Or you can just run away like a fucking bitch. Come on. Why you gotta make me waste it?
Even your death is not enough for me, horseman.
Ah. Come on. Lock-on's broken. Damn it. I'm tight. Everything went downhill after I used the Havoc. Bad timing.
Give me your best! Take it all. Finally, you show some fight.
Stopped to pick up the item and he hit me. More irony.
Cornered! Finally show some fight.
Stop. He was doing alright the first few times, now this is just sad.
Give me your best!
Oh. No.
All fights must come to their inevitable bloody end. Give me your best, and I'll take it all.
That's a good line. I'm really bad at dodging his jump down attack. You'd think that would be the easier one to do. You just watch when he touches the ground.
Your glorious head is my greatest prize!
Hmm. EFW, you're butthurt that you're so butthurt that your butt actually hurts. That's me right now. Wish I could stand up, but then you guys would realize I actually have tentacles for legs. Can't have that.
Great! The taste of your foe!
Okay, that is how that works. Have an extra live. Thorn damage. I think that gets us mana back. Arcane damage, havoc. Temporary damage.
Your glorious head is my greatest prize!
It's really a decent amount of damage protection it gives you.
Finally, you show. Pray to Avarice, it's time!
Oh. Yeesh.
All cuts must come to their inevitable bloody end.
It lasted a really long time. If I was more aggressive, he might be dead by now. I'm not sure if I want to use a second one or not.
My greatest trophy.
Ah. Really holding on to that fridge. Thought he would have gotten rid of it and went up by now for air.
Give me your best.
Damage boost through it.
Enjoy your collection, Avarice.
For one final time.
Do you know what that art is worth?
One sinner's life. Who needs a museum when you can carry a collection in this?
Oh, Philistine.
Welcome again.
It's not like I had a choice in the matter. Do you kidnap all your guests?
You would not be so disrespectful if you knew the true power I give you. Your battle with Avarice proved you value your mission above material possessions. You are ready for stronger tools of destruction.
Another toy for me to play with. You're far too generous.
The storm, Hollow. Use it wisely.
Why not give me all your gifts and get it over with, if you're so keen to arm one of the horsemen?
Begone!
Well, at least she asked a good question. Alright, so this one's a spear. Good for single target, and I think the aerial attack is like a... Yeah, it's good for areas. And it's the glidey. I can use this to get over the air currents. I'm pretty sure I like the spear. The issue with single target things is, like, you need it to replace the whip, right? It needs to be better. And the whip kind of does all of it, but it's primarily a single target thing. I don't remember if I was ever able to get up there.
By the way, I hope you don't take offense, Fury.
Yet I'm certain I will.
Yes, well, don't slaughter the messenger and puree his guts, as the saying goes.
Ah, yes, my favorite
Whispers of your
saying.
martial prowess have spread throughout certain circles, horseman. There are those who would like to put your talents to the test, if you wish to humor them.
I do not.
But if you did, out of curiosity or pride or plain old greed like a normal person, say the word, and the serpent hole shall convey you unto the Crucible.
The Crucible? Ugh, bit on the nose, isn't it?
Says the furious horseman named
Enough, Fulgrim. What's in this for you?
10%. The demon's got to make a living. And for you, rewards that should pique a warrior's interest, assuming you survive. Consider it, or don't. What would you ask of this
Alright, more DLC.
merchant? Please take your time.
The void is supposed to open up as we get our hollows, so considering we have a second one, we should be good enough to do the first at least. I've never actually been here before. The void.
I have never been witness to structures of stone floating so freely.
Oh! You guys look cool. Hello? I'm guessing the color on the torch just indicates what you need to go through whatever area. I saw purple ones off in the distance and the loading screen had yellow ones. There's some yellow ones over there. Maybe you come out that way after you go around through that path, and that leads to the yellow one. That's why they're right next to each other. It's a maze. Amazing. Strike the orb with a charged hollow attack while the orb is active to imbue it with hollow power. What if I use the other hollow? Or is it just not compatible? Do I see a secret? Ooh.
Death warned of such creatures, with the power to manipulate stone to their very will and take on a physical form.
Right, stuff. Actraiser Renaissance, we'll talk about that. So this came out of freaking nowhere. They announced it during Nintendo Direct and it was on PC, so we played it, right? One of my favorite games from the SNES. See, basically it's just an action platformer like Castlevania or whatever. Like, it's kind of difficult. Stiff jumping, very technical. But there was also like a city building element because you played God, aka the Lord of Light and Fire. Basically the Judeo-Christian God, but a little more Norse. So the point of the game was to go down into various regions. You go through and act, kill the demons, and get points. I'm gonna mention that later. In like a second, actually. Once you kill the boss, you unlock a city building segment, because now the land's been cleared, and you gotta raise a civilization, hence the name Actraiser. For the most part, it's pretty simplistic. You just, like, tell them where you want to build, and then they'll build on their own, based on what space is available and how many people you have. Now, a really weird mechanic is the points. Basically, every 100 points amounted to 1 human soul freed. So, you need to get a high score in order to have the biggest population, and the number of living worshippers determine your character level. So you do more damage, have more health, have more mana. And when you're doing the city building, there are demons that occasionally attack, so they will kill people, and like their souls are gone permanently. You can also kill them yourself because you want to destroy outdated structures when the civilization advances, so that you can build like houses that support more people or whatever. Then after doing so much of that, clearing out the monster layers, making the town safe, tragedy strikes through some story moments. Each town has a storyline going on with it. And you unlock the second act where you fight an actual harder boss, go through a different dungeon. The dungeons themselves usually have like power-ups you can collect. Sometimes these are permanent, like increases the health or a new spell to cast. And then each civilization has like a sub-quest associated with it too. Like they'll produce a unique technology that you can share with the other towns, and use that to solve a unique problem. Like one of them gives you wool clothing that you use to survive in the cold region. One produces medicine, one makes music, stuff like that. Very simple stuff. You get to the end of the game, you do a boss rush, kill the guy at the end. So it's important to master those previous second acts, because you're gonna have to refight all of them in succession. Alright, so that's the original game. Renaissance, it made some significant changes, but it's effectively still the same thing. A few of the levels had been redesigned to fit with the new gameplay style. Rather than just basic spammy attacks, you don't have like a 3 or 4 hit combo, as well as some special moves you can do, like an uppercut kind of thing, and a downward smash. So some of the boss fights were slightly redesigned, only a couple of them, and some of the levels to fit this new style. Originally, you can only take one spell that you know into a level at a time, and you might replace it with the one that you find in the level. Now you have a spell wheel, so you can select them all on the fly. And since they got rid of the in-level collectibles, you now just, you can find scrolls that increase your maximum health and mana, I think. Maybe it's just max mana, I don't know. And those will be permanent, so there still is a reason to explore the level, but it's different. After that, you go into the town building stuff. Since they got rid of the score mechanic, you don't have to worry about that, which is honestly a weight off my shoulders, so you're not locked out of reaching max level because you were bad at the game or whatever. Now instead, they added side quests that just do periodically, like collect resources, defend the town from monsters, whatever. And those will get you faith points to level up instead. I should probably point out that the population system was not explained in-game at all. It was probably somewhere in the manual originally, but the game's pretty rare and very valuable, so a lot of people would be playing it without a manual. I actually have a boxed copy of it. It costs like 120 bucks or something when I got it. So obviously new graphics, they're a mixed bag. So they're like still kind of grainy, but they're high res in 3D now. I like the art style for the most part, but it could definitely look better. Especially if they just made it like actual 3D instead of like a pre-rendered sprite of a 3D character. Really weird choice. But then when you get into the town, things look a bit uglier. Like, the buildings look fine, but the people look like ugly Mega Bloks characters. Like the movie The Year Without Santa Claus, or whatever. Like that kind of ugly. It's a good movie. Just think it's ugly is all. See, it costs like 40 bucks. Maybe that's too much. Maybe 30 would have been more fair, or 20 would have been perfect. Because it's still the same game, just as long. Or they added padding, because there's now like a tower defense segment to the city building as well. And they injected new characters to play along with the side quest bullshit. So you now can command various heroes which apply buffs to the towers that you build. And those heroes change up the story of the area a lot. For the most part, they added to it. However, in the town of Bloodpool, I think that they, like, completely ruined the story, and that they, like... They got rid of one of the best moments in the game. I don't want to spoil it, but come on. It turned what was otherwise a tragedy into just a normal boss fight. I also see some people in, like, the Steam comments complaining that they changed the gender of the god, and no, they didn't. He's still male. He looks very faithful to the original sprite. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Just because he was a buff freaking Thor-looking dude in the second game doesn't mean they changed his gender. He's just a very pretty man, which is common of Japanese gods. I don't know how to get back. I want to, like, change it on the fly in the air, but it doesn't let me do it after I've used the jump. I think I have to try and glide. We're falling too fast. I think we're screwed. Unless... Okay, that one accepts multiple inputs. Alright, so with the exception of the blood pool, I think it's a mostly faithful recreation with some additives, some padding, which is a little annoying. To get the achievements especially, you have to, like, grind an unreasonable amount of the tower defense stuff. But if you don't care about achievements, it can be ignored. For the most part, I like the new combat system. It's, I don't know, it works. It's better than having straight spammy combat, I guess. However, some of the boss fights had to change. For the most part, for the better. Like, the Chimera of Blood Pool is, like, you were able to just hide underneath one of the bridges. There's, like, a series of 3 bridges on each side, and you shoot fireballs at you. You can just hide under one of them and, like, spam attack, and that'd be it, because all you did is a chop, so it was like an arcing motion, and it was OP. Now you do, like, a slice, chop, slice, so there's, like, the direction of those matters when you're attacking. And you can't just spam it. And if you time it right, you can still use that strategy, but, like, it's different. There also used to be a power-up that appeared like 2 or 3 times in the game that let you shoot fireballs out of your sword whenever you swing. That's gone. And it was pretty much... It's because it was pretty much essential to fight one of the bosses. I think it was the Azure Dragon. So that fight was completely changed, which I guess is for the better. And it was a cool moment, but when you do it without the fire sword, it's just a pain in the ass. So, like, you have to win that level in 1 live. In addition to that, they added a checkpoint system since the levels have been changed a bit longer in some cases. It's nice to be able to just, like, die before a boss and be able to reattempt it instantly instead of going through the whole thing again. Instead of the power-ups, they now have enemies drop crystals. And if you collect enough of those, your damage and magic damage and health will go up. Not health. Eventually you get extra life that you can use once. So that's, like, more reason to explore, because it's always paced out, so there's just enough in the level to get it. So as far as the changes go, I think for the most part they were for the better, but I feel like there could have been a lot more done with the tower defense. Like, it's kind of lazily implemented. And there was a game from Square Enix called Soul Seraph that was, like, supposed to be their own attempt at Actraiser. It came out recently and it was bad. That focused a lot more on the tower defense, and, like, it didn't really work there either. So maybe it's just not the right move. I don't know. But that game flunked because the action stages were bad too. Not because of the city building. Like, that one was just okay. The music was all redone. I think they added new music entirely, because normally at the town building there's only one song that's like a classical track, except it was chiptune. And that song's still in the game for the first area, but every town now has its own unique music, which I don't think is how it was originally. Though you can optionally choose to use the classic music if you want, but not the classic art. Really weird. Special mode is still in the game, so after you beat it, you can go through it without any of the city building bullshit if you want to play a straight Castlevania game. Try and beat it all in one run. Those high-skilled people. So overall, I don't know how to feel about it. Like, in some ways it's better, some ways it's a little worse. For the most part, I guess it's better, so I guess I can recommend it, but not for the price. And if you haven't ever played it, well, it's a unique game, so give it a shot. Play the original, at least. Because, you know, you can just emulate that for free, run it on a toaster. Ethically, I might add, since it's so fucking expensive to buy aftermarket. And it was never on the eShop, so, like, yeah. I still have this equipped. I haven't leveled it up at all. It's probably a lot weaker than using the freaking sex whips. Hey. Oh, I don't like the looks of this. I just run away? Find somewhere safe to fight them? I just don't want to get shot. Ah! Bitch. Where the homeboy at? Oh, right there. He blends in with the lava when he's all darked out like that. Is he alive? Nah. Oh, I unlock a shortcut? Sweet. How do I open this, though? Some other way, that's how. Oh, hey. Guess that's how.
This will be fun for both of as you wish.
Next shortcut. Elegant level design. Ow. How are we doing on time? 3 hours 20. Right, so we're like at a good place to wrap up, but I want to explore just a little more. I feel like we're almost at the end of this loop section that one of us have the flame hollow for. And I'm just curious to know if there's like a boss fight or something in here. And there's almost definitely one at the very end, right? But like these mid-sections, what I'm curious to know about. Also, this is like the place where we get the other forms for our weapons, because I know those exist. Maybe you'll get it at the end of each section. Shot at me. I don't see him. Oh, am I there? mean there's two of them? This one's almost dead, so it's not a big deal. I don't know why I did it twice. No, it clearly only accepts one. I guess I'm just supposed to make that jump. Just wondering what the hell is up with the boob. Oh, it's an orb. Fuck, fuck, fuck. No. What happened? So I think the glowing symbol represents what hollows it accepts. However, the way it's mapped, shouldn't the flame one be over here on B? Just a thought. What the fuck? Why didn't you grab it? Okay, if I stayed on top of that block, it would have just taken me over there. Well, I guess I can still glide over there. It's nice that I'm able to cheese this puzzle out a little bit, since I have two halls instead of just the one. I need to move that block out of the way. I think it's this first one that lets me do that. No, okay. There's an orb on that one in the back, but I need to move these. There's also an orb right there. Maybe I'll do what I need to. Gotta hit with the jump. Perfect. Fulgrim. Yep.
What would you like? This will be fun for as you wait. Do make sure they scream, Oscar.
And there's where we started. That looks like a boss. Oh, he's
Your
adorable.
transgressions are costly. I have slain many of your brethren. If you wish to avoid the same fate, I suggest you talk. Why do you infest the serpent holes? I want answers now!
It has no mouth.
Your silence is disrespectful. Time to teach you some manners.
Aganosh, Keeper of Flame. Oh boy. Is he down? Oh no, he's charging up something big. Fuck. I think we got this. Shit. We could have got that. I timed the damage boost too late. I also could have popped Havoc, but I didn't. He doesn't seem bad at all. Ow. Ow. Sure I'm far enough. Ow. Ow. I called him a chump because I almost killed him first try and now he's whooping me. Eh. think I should just dodge left on that to be safe. I don't know what buttons I'm pressing. I was trying to activate this spell. The Wrath attack. I hope I didn't use two heals at once there. I definitely heard the sound twice. So I'm feeling a flow state right now. We might not even need it. What kind of move is that? Whoa! I was definitely lagging during that. Fuck! We're getting gamer sweaty again. Oh. Ah. Oh. Once he starts doing the flaming mode, I can't get in the flow anymore because he does that deflects. Means that you gotta keep some distance. My throat's dry, I'm out of water. For that whole, like, first 2/3 of his health bar, though, before he starts doing that, he's relatively defenseless if you keep on his ass. Just keep dodging left or whatever, whatever's more convenient. He primarily attacks with his right arm, so left feels safer most of the time. Whereas that his left arm he's attacking with, stage right. Fucking hell. Yeah. Remember when I said he didn't seem that bad? I lied. Wrong move. trying to optimize damage by using the whip when my health is full. I gotta always switch to the flame for arcane counters because I get bonus damage on that. And it does burning. I was clenching so hard at the end there. Now I have to execute him, that's new. I always thought he was gonna explode on me or something. The Talons of Scorn. So to not overcomplicate things, I just pick which one I want. Fire guns, one takes 1 or 2 fiery claws, shred enemies, fierce precision. And that's why the symbols there, okay. Not as fast, but I imagine they do better damage. They're similar, just different. I might like them a bit better, I don't know. We'll see. You know, I don't think we were able to buy the adamantine fragments before either. They must have added that because you have to upgrade all the new weapons separately. Which is good, because I was a little disappointed when I had to, like, leave some underleveled last time. Because there weren't any more shards to find. Like, the freaking sword you get at the end, I really liked its moveset, but I wasn't really able to use it because it was so much weaker than the other ones. It's because there wasn't any stuff for it. Oh, there's the other paths.
The Storm Hollow. You never disappoint, horseman.
I can't say the same for you, demon.
Your opinion of me will change in due time. The next passageway awaits your gentle touch. Greetings.
Yeah, we will probably attempt that one later. Like, as in not now. But also, we probably ran over the clock by like 30 minutes or so, right? So, yeah, it's not as much as I thought. Anyways, we're out of here. I'll be back in like a week for real this time. See ya then.